it's Thea here, just here to spill some more tea for you guys. And this time, it is some piping hot tea, and it is about none other than Queen Bee herself, Beyonce. So, you might have noticed that there's a lot of clips circulating around the internet right now, and they are all about Beyonce and her concert in Sweden. So a lot of Beyonce's fans, and it seems like Beyonce herself, was basically shocked, outraged, and devastated. These people by the concert goers in Sweden. And that is because people were filming the concert and then panning around to film the crowd at the same time. And the crowd did not at all look impressed or happy or even like in awe of watching Beyonce live in concert. I mean, it was weird to see that reaction. And there's this one clip where there's this one guy and he's like basically singing and dancing, and everyone else is just sitting there watching like they're kind of bored or they're just like not entertained at all by Beyonce, which is, I mean, I'm a Beyonce fan. I love every single Beyonce song ever released. I mean, how could you not? She is amazing at what she does. She is an amazing performer, and she is also an amazing singer. So, I guess the Beehive is coming for the fans or the concert goers in Sweden, and they are not happy with the Swedish concert goers. And also, I think that Beyonce is not very happy with the situation, because when she went on the second leg of her tour to Germany, she kind of insinuated that she was not happy with the whole situation by saying that you guys are basically, I'm paraphrasing right now, but she said, you guys are a great crowd and I basically am appreciative of it, and you guys have a lot of great energy and sometimes I don't receive that. Something along those lines. I'm not getting it right, I know. I mince my words a lot, but you get the gist of it. It's something like that. It's not perfect what I'm saying by any means. So basically, people have noticed, the Beehive has noticed that this has really upset Beyonce, and they are not okay with it. The Beehive is not okay with Queen Bee being upset by the situation in Sweden. And I don't blame them, because I would be super upset, and I don't blame Beyonce either, if people came to my concert and they gave me no energy at all. I mean, these people just looked like they were watching TV or watching like paint dry. It was like sad and, weird to watch. And if you have not seen those clips, they're all over the internet right now. I can't post it on this video because I'll have copyright issues, so that's why I did not include it. And I just feel like it's another thing that I forgot to tell you is that I found this weird is because these people have actually paid for tickets to see Beyonce, the concert goers in Sweden. And they paid for tickets to go see Beyonce, and they're sitting there like so bored. And obviously the people like in the front row and tickets are not cheap to see Beyonce. They're not cheap at all. And if you paid a lot of money for them, like in the front row or like VIP passes or whatever kind of passes that were available, I feel like you would be excited and you'd have a lot of energy and you'd have a lot of like liquor inside you, and you'd be dancing, getting up, you'd be there with your friends or family or whoever or your partner, and you would be like dancing the night away, singing, bringing some energy. But like I said, none of these people had any energy at all. And that is why the beehives are upset. But I actually have a theory as to why this happened in Sweden. And I believe it was not just one concert in Sweden. It was a bunch of concerts, or a few concerts, or two, or something like that. I don't think that it was just one concert in Sweden. So I want to talk about why this happened. I personally think that this is all a huge misunderstanding by Beyonce and by the Beehive and all Beyonce's friends. Because I feel like I did a bit of research and I saw like other concerts in Sweden, and this is just how they are. So I think this is like a cultural thing in Sweden. I don't think they're like very high energy people, and I think that they are very kind of like quiet and reserved as a nation. And I think they're not like loud and kind of like very expressive like us Americans are. And they don't kind of like just get up and dance and like, bop to the music basically. And I think that, Beyonce and the Beehive and myself at first were wrong to be offended in this situation. I think they were enjoying it, but internally, the way that they were programmed at a young age probably to, internalize everything, because they are not very, vocal about their emotions. They're very reserved, like bunch of people. Just, if you don't believe me, check out like concerts in Sweden and noticed that the crowd, when people pan to the crowd is pretty much like this all the time in most concerts. I know there are a few exceptions to this rule probably, but I have noticed that most of the time the crowd is very like demure, quiet, reserved, and they're just watching. They do have smiles on their faces, but they're just watching and kind of like taking it in, soaking the atmosphere in and soaking Beyonce in. But I can understand why the Beehive is upset. Like I would be, and I was at first very upset until I saw these other videos and learned a bit about the Swedish culture being reserved. I was upset for Beyonce, and I feel like if Beyonce saw these videos of other concerts and saw the way the Swedish culture is quite reserved and quite quiet, and this is how they express themselves, and it's basically how the entire country is, then I feel like she would have, and someone should have told her, actually, someone on her team. It's her team's fault, because they should have done the research. They should have found out that this is the way the Swedish people are. The country of Sweden is very reserved. And if they told her in advance, then she would have been ready and not, been taken aback by the situation and felt like uncomfortable or felt a certain way about it. She would have just kind of like been like, yeah, this is the way it is. It's not going to be high energy, but I'm ready for it. I'm going to, just be okay with this situation because, it is what it is. And they are a bit different. Different is okay, but, she would have been prepared and she would not be upset. So I feel like, to be honest, I feel like this is just the fault of her team, who did not research properly and did not let her know, and also the organizers of this tour that she has. I think that she needs to basically fire someone, or maybe not fire someone, but, give someone a stern telling off to, because this should have been pointed out to her a long time ago during the process of her like signing contracts to go on the tour and everything. They should have been because certain countries have certain cultural norms, and people do things a different way. Like in Japan, it's customary to bow to show respect, and every country is different. Every place around the world is different. Everyone behaves differently. Everyone has different cultural things that they do, and I think that this is just one of those cultural things that we didn't know about as Beyonce fans, and she didn't know about as a performer, and definitely was the fault of her team, in my opinion anyway. But like always, I want to know what you all think of this entire situation, and if you think that Beyonce was actually shunned and the crowd at her Sweden concert were to blame for the situation and it was extremely rude what they did, or do you think that this was the fault, like I think, of her team or the tour organizers, and they should have, did a bit of research on the cultural norms in each city or each country that she went to, and, prepare her for the situation. So I just want to remind you guys that everything that I've said and heard in this video is alleged, and these are all my own thoughts and opinions on this particular situation and on all my other videos too. So also, if you have any comments about this video, comment below and let me know if you have any other topics you guys want me to talk about. I will be very appreciative of that because I always am thinking about different topics that you guys might want me to talk about and expand upon. Also, if you have any smoking hot tea you want me to spill, then please contact me on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok at Thea'sLifey, and I will be happy to spill that tea for you. Also, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel, and I will be back tomorrow with more long-form videos and a bunch of shorts too. I put up shorts and long-form videos every day, so you will not regret subscribing to this channel because I have something for you guys every day.